after a run of just 2 wins from 15 games played under Wayne Rooney, Birmingham City have decided time up and that they have parted company with Wayne Rooney. In the last few moments, Birmingham City has announced it has parted company with manager Wayne Rooney and first team coach Carl Robinson. Despite their best efforts, the statement tells us, results have not met the expectations that were made clear at the outset. Therefore, the board feels that a change in management is in the best interests of the football club. What do you make of that, Simon? That expectations that were made clear at the outset have not been met.
I think that's bloody obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't expect to be fifth and bottom, did they?
Chief Executive Officer Gary Cook, once of Manchester City, of course, says, "We are committed to doing what is necessary to bring success to St Andrews. Unfortunately, Wayne's time with us did not go as planned, and we've decided to move in a different direction. The search for a successor begins with immediate effect, and we'll update fans when we have further news." So Rooney has gone, sacked by Birmingham City, and yet it all looked so rosy in the St Andrews garden, if you like, when Gary spoke about Wayne arriving at the club.
But we're rebuilding this football club from the ground up. Craig's work this summer during the transfer window and assembling a valuable and very exciting team of players is just proof of that. So today, another milestone on the journey for Birmingham City. And with that comes great expectation. Of course it does. The demands on Wayne and his team. I can assure you, though, that the demands on Wayne and his team are no different than the demands I place on every single member at this football club. Our owners and the board, including myself, have huge aspiration for this club.
What a load of old rubbish.
You're not having what Gary Cook said.
What an impersonator. What a load of old prescripted nonsense. And there's no basis for the appointment. It never was the basis for his appointment.
Have you got something against Gary Cook?
No, I just think that people that are in positions of influence that should know the game better should give those that don't proper guided, gilded advice. Not that. And that's, I mean, listen to that nonsense. It's nonsense, and look what it's proven to be. And it wasn't proven to be anything on the basis of me going, oh, look at this. This is what I didn't say was going to happen in this period of time.
Yeah.
But most sensible observers would look at that and go, it's a very strange decision, nothing to put behind it, no basis for it, no substance, no data, no intelligence, no thought process, nothing about the appointment looked to me like the right appointment. And look how bad it's gone. I mean, it's difficult to work out how it could have gone much badder. I suppose it could have gone 10 points badder, couldn't it? He could have got no points out of 15 games. When you look at a chief executive like that, and you look at someone in a position of influence and authority, the owners want to look at themselves as well. It's not just a case of taking advice from people, it's understanding why you're taking that advice.
But that's what I mean. In the statement this morning,
substanceless.
The board feels that a change in management is in the best interest of the football club. Well, results have not met the expectations that were made clear at the outset.
Clearly, there's nothing going right, is there?
Many Birmingham fans getting in touch. Alan is one, Darren's another. I'm coming to you guys. I just want to bring this to you. Minutes after the announcement came through that Rooney has been sacked, I've just picked up a statement from Rooney himself. And Rooney says, "I'd like to thank Tom Wagner, Tom Brady, Gary Cook for the opportunity to manage Birmingham City. Football is a results business, and I recognise they have not been at the level I wanted them to be. However, time is the most precious commodity a manager requires, and I do not believe 13 weeks was sufficient to oversee the changes that were needed." Then he says, "Personally," this is Rooney's statement, "it will take me some time to get over this setback. I've been involved in professional football as either a player or a manager since I was 16. Now I plan to take some time with my family as I prepare for the next opportunity in my journey as a manager." How do you see Wayne's journey as a manager this morning?
Difficult to see one. I mean, look, you've been given an opportunity. You can cite the well-trodden path of you need time, but you need to give people an indication that you're going in the right direction. You need to give people some form of reformation as to the reasons why you gave an opportunity. 30% of a season producing 10 points, putting your side at the bottom of the form table and 2 places above the relegation zone when you took them over and they were in a playoff spots, doesn't give you the opportunity to say that I merit any time. You weren't good enough at what you were doing, and if you wanted to affect change, then you should have had the experience, the nous, and the wherewithal to go, I need to do this in bite-sized chunks. I've got an audience in terms of my players that can't digest this. I'm seeing it, and I may want them to change, but ultimately, as an operator of some substance, I need to do it in bite-sized chunks. I need to get results, to give myself the opportunity to have time.
Do you see him back in the English game anytime soon?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, is there anything about what he's done that merited this job in the first place? And I would argue no. Is there anything about what he's done in this job that would merit being given another opportunity? Or how do you make a case for him? It's a difficult case. Maybe the delightful Paul Stretford will be able to sell him, but I don't know how and where and to whom and why.
So Rooney sacked this morning, as happens here at TalkSPORT. We got wind of this about an hour before we came on air, went with it, and now it's proven to be correct. It is indeed confirmed. Rooney sacked by Birmingham City. Alan is a big Birmingham City fan. Alan, good morning to you. Where does the blame lie? Simon's saying Gary Cook and the rest have got to take a lot of the responsibility here.
Absolutely. First of all, Jim, and I've got to say, wonderful show. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks, Alan.
I think a lot of things that you've both said this morning, Simon in particular, has made a lot of sense. But I just want to put things into perspective here. The board, and I have to agree with what Simon said, the board had to bring in so many players, and Craig Gardner did a great job at the start of the season. You know, let's put things into perspective. He brought 6 players in, and we've spent around 7 million on those players. We've sold 2 players in Chong and Joe Bellingham, which equated to around 6 million. So, you know, it's all well and good us saying, you know, well done to the board for bringing players in, but technically we've only actually bought in players and spent around 1 million. We also had the very luxury of having Jude Bellingham sailed to Real Madrid, where it's reported that with add-ons probably we've achieved around 11 million on that deal.
Yes, yeah.
So let's put things into perspective. What John Eustace did to get us into 6th was quite remarkable with a very, very new team.
Yeah.
Only spending £1 million.
Sure. Alan, do you trust this board to make the right decision next?
Well, if you go to Birmingham and see what they've done, it's quite remarkable, Jim, because the stadium, the things going on in the background, the signage, you know, everything is a much more entertaining. You know, you see at the start of matches on Sky Sports that all of a sudden they've got fireworks going on. So the show and the performance and everything in the background has been massively improved. I mean, I went to go and get a football shirt literally a couple of days before the first game of the season, and everything was transformed. It was a remarkable transformation to the shop, to even just painting the railings. They've put so much into the team so far and the club. But let's put things into perspective. John Eustace got us to 6th with only spending £1 million.
Yeah,
he did a remarkable job. The team performed.
And Alan, fireworks don't win you games, do they?
Well, they don't, and I think what now needs to happen is quite clear. They need to spend money on the team, because clearly the team isn't good enough.
Sure.
And they need a manager to get the best out of the team. Because
Alan, thank you for your call and thanks for your kind words. Going to squeeze Darren in, who's been waiting patiently. I mean, Darren, do you put the blame squarely at the feet of the ownership and the directors?
It's got to be the ownership, the players, and the manager, really. Because weekend in, weekend out, the players are playing for the badge and the shirt. So you've got to blame the board, management, and the players themselves.
And what next? I mean, again, I'll ask you the question I asked the previous caller. Do you trust the board to get the next decision right?
So after how they treated Eustace, I don't know, because as the previous speaker, Alan, rightly said, we were sitting 6th. There was nothing wrong. But yeah, apparently according to sources, Gary Cook and Eustace weren't aligned. They weren't pulling in the same direction.
Yeah.
So whether they get the right man, I hope so, but who knows?
Okay, listen, thank you very much indeed, Darren. Thank you for that. Many Birmingham fans have been trying to join us this morning. To react to the news that Wayne Rooney has been sacked by Birmingham City, Wayne says, it's going to take me some time to get over this setback. He says, now I plan to take some time with my family as I prepare for the next opportunity in my journey as a manager. Rooney is gone, but who's next?
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.